everyone, my name is Lindsay Murray. Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am going to be talking all about POTS, which stands for Postural Orthostatic Tachycardia Syndrome, and I'm going to be breaking that down and diving deep into the POTS symptoms that are very common and that I have personally experienced being someone with POTS. But yeah, that is what today's video is going to be. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I'm Lindsay. It's nice to meet you. You should totally subscribe and join the Famurray. I create content that is very girly, very pink. I love bougie on a budget. I am a college lifestyle, beauty, fashion, chronic illness YouTuber. So that pretty much sums me up. But yeah, before you get into this video, don't forget to stop what you're doing and subscribe to join the Famurray, and don't forget to turn on that bell so that you know whenever I upload. So let's just get right on into this video. So just a quick disclaimer, this is just my personal experience, what I've done from research as well as what I have personally experienced. I am not a medical doctor, I am not a medical professional, so seek help and seek treatment if you think that you actually do have POTS to get a legitimate diagnosis. I am not trying to diagnose anyone here. This is just simply sharing my symptoms and things that I have experienced and researched as someone who does deal with the illness, with hopes to help other people out there as well as to raise awareness for this illness. So consult with your doctors, because trust me, especially if you have POTS, they're gonna be your best friends. So I'm gonna start with what POTS is. So we're gonna break it down first. So POTS stands for Postural Orthostatic Tachycardia Syndrome. So postural is related to the position of your body. Orthostatic is related to standing upright. Tachycardia means an increased heart rate, and syndrome means a group of symptoms. So I'm reading this from hopkinsmedicine.org, but POTS is a blood circulation disorder that is characterized by two factors: a specific group of symptoms that frequently occur when standing upright, and a heart rate increase from horizontal to standing of at least 30 beats per minute in adults or 40 beats per minute in adolescents, measured during the first 10 minutes of standing. So POTS is a form of dysautonomia. So like I said, October is Dysautonomia Awareness Month. POTS is a form of dysautonomia. And basically what that means is it's a disorder of the autonomic nervous system. So this is a branch of the nervous system that regulates the functions that we don't control. So that's the heart rate, blood pressure, sweating, and body temperature. So something else that I also wanted to mention and just say is that there are different levels of severity of POTS. So there is the very high functioning level of POTS, there is the like kind of middle range functioning, and then there's the very debilitating POTS. So the high functioning means that you definitely have symptoms here and there, but it's pretty manageable and you can live your life pretty much how you want to. The middle ground is kind of where I'm at, because I am having symptoms pretty much every day that are impacting my day-to-day life, and there are some things that I can't really do anymore that I used to be able to do, and so my life is definitely more affected by it. And then there's the level of severity where it's hard for people to get up and walk, or people pass out every single time they get up or stand up, or there's some people with POTS who are in wheelchairs because it's just so hard to stand and walk places, and it's difficult, especially when you have that severe level of POTS. So there are different levels of severity, and like I said, I kind of fall into the mid-range. I can still function and live my life and do what I need to do, but I am impacted day to day significantly with my POTS symptoms and what I have to deal with. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that as well, because like I do not have the most severe level of POTS for sure, not at all, but I'm definitely probably in that mid-range. Okay, so now we are going to go into the very long list of symptoms, because there are so many symptoms. So the first one is severe and long-lasting fatigue. This I struggle with greatly. I have never had fatigue as bad as I have ever since my concussion. So if you'd like to learn more about my POTS story, I will link a card up above for you to go watch that. But basically for me, I developed POTS after I got a severe concussion in high school. So that is kind of what triggered my POTS, and fatigue has been a very significant thing that has impacted my life a lot. It's been very difficult to learn how to live life with chronic fatigue. It's very difficult when you have no energy to do anything, to function so highly, but fatigue is a really big symptom, and that is something I struggle with every single day for sure. So the second symptom is fainting. So if you are having fainting spells, or if you're getting dizzy upon standing, or whether that's postural changes or just standing in general, so only about 40% of people who have POTS actually experience fainting or syncope episodes. I am one of those 40%. I have passed out numerous times, copious amounts of times, unfortunately. Definitely when my POTS is flaring is when I experience more syncope episodes. I don't experience syncope on a day-to-day basis when my POTS is manageable, but when my POTS is flaring, I do get syncope and I do also get non-epileptic seizures. Yeah, that is also a symptom. There can be convulsions after you pass out. Fun fact. Didn't know that until I had a non-epileptic seizure in my class, but you live and you learn. Syncope is a huge, huge, huge red flag as to a symptom for POTS. If you want a video of me going into detail about just my non-epileptic seizures, just comment down below and I will do a video completely about those. So the next symptom is brain fog. Brain fog is such a pain in my butt. It's so frustrating and I definitely just don't feel as sharp as I used to, and things just get so foggy sometimes and I just forget things sometimes, and brain fog is just a very common symptom of POTS, and it's something that I deal with every single day, all the time. My brain is just foggy now. That's just kind of how it is. I'm learning how to function with a foggy brain, basically. The next one is forceful heartbeats or heart palpitations. So I experienced this as well. I typically get these a lot before syncope episodes. I will get like really intense like heart palpitations. But yeah, it basically feels like your heart is pounding or skipping a beat. So my heart is typically pounding before a syncope episode because I'm tachycardic. But also randomly, like I'll just be laying down and my heart will flutter or like skip a beat. It's because of my POTS. So that could be another symptom of it. Oh my god, I almost fell off my bed. Nausea and vomiting are huge red flags of POTS. I deal with nausea usually in the morning. My nausea is worse. I don't know why, but I typically wake up nauseous. That happens most days, but not all days. Also, if I get hot or if I'm about to have a syncope episode, that's my pre-syncope symptoms, is I get really nauseous, I get hot, sweaty, my heart gets fast, and sound kind of goes out and my vision gets like black and starry and fuzzy, and that's kind of what happens. But anyway, nausea and vomiting. If you're throwing up or if you're like feel like you're constantly nauseous and you feel like you never have an appetite because you're always nauseous, it could be a symptom of POTS. Headaches, I get these at least one about every day. They're typically not too bad. Sometimes they're pretty killer, but they're typically just normal headaches. But people with POTS can get them more often and more frequently, and they can be of higher intensity. So headaches are another big indicator. Excessive sweating. So this one is something that I didn't really know of. When I learned this, I was like, yes, I have POTS because I excessively sweat. I always thought I just sweat because I get it from my dad, but no, it's because of your POTS, because we don't retain fluids and we don't retain salts and electrolytes like we're supposed to, so we excessively sweat out all of those fluids and things that we need. So excessive sweating is something that I very much deal with and have noticed as one of my symptoms. The next one is shakiness. I don't experience this on a day-to-day basis. I'm typically only shaky if I'm in pre-syncope, typically is when I'm jittery or shaky, as if I'm about to pass out. The next symptom is exercise intolerance. If you find yourself not being able to exercise for long periods of time, that could be a symptom of POTS. It's really hard to exercise when you have POTS, especially do cardio, so yeah. Lightheadedness and dizziness are very common with POTS. This I deal with pretty much day to day. Every time I stand, if I stand for too long, I get dizzy, or if I stand up too quickly, I will get dizzy. That's just, I'm used to that. It's not really dangerous for me. Because I don't usually pass out from that dizziness. It's just something that I kind of have to like sit for a second, adjust to, and then I'll be okay. But sometimes I do. So you never know with POTS if you're gonna really pass out. Chest pain and shortness of breath. So sometimes when your heart is fluttering and having palpitations, you can get chest pain, or if your heart rate is really fast, that can also give you chest pain. So chest pain is a very common factor, along with shortness of breath. Basically just feeling like you can't catch your breath, or feeling like you're trying to take a deep breath and you just feel like you can't get that air. Just feeling short of breath is another symptom. I swear sometimes it's like I walk up the stairs and I'm short of breath. Stairs are my #1 thing that make me short of breath, for sure. I've noticed that and any kind of exercise makes me really short of breath. But elevation is definitely a huge factor for me. So the next thing is pain. So this could be pain anywhere. I mostly experience pain in my shoulders and neck area and my back. I get a lot of pain in those muscles. And then I also get pain in my legs from blood pooling and just the circulation issues. Pain anywhere in your body, like just pain, is a symptom of POTS. So all the fun stuff, digestion problems, diarrhea, and constipation can all be symptoms of POTS because your digestive system is really kind of messed up a little bit with POTS. So this is stuff that I deal with all the time. Like, not to be TMI, but I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like, this is stuff that I deal with POTS, you know? It's a symptom and it's stuff that I actually get and deal with, so. The next one is heat intolerance. If you find yourself either excessively sweating in the heat or just being very intolerant, like not being able to be in the heat or withstand the heat, that is another symptom. You can actually get allergies, new onset allergies from POTS. Like, you can develop allergies after you get POTS. Like, I never had allergies growing up, but as soon as I had POTS, I started getting allergies. So that was really weird and that was kind of freaky, but yeah, that was crazy. Another symptom is your eye dilation and your eyes not dilating correctly in the sunlight. We can be really sensitive to sunlight as well as sound sometimes, but sunlight definitely affects me. Like, whenever I'm driving, I always have to have sunglasses on because I'm very sensitive to the sunlight. Like, I always go outside and if it's really sunny, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can't see anything. I've always been super sensitive to the sun, especially more so with POTS. So another symptom is having reddish or purplish color in your hands or feet. So this can mean that you have poor blood flow, which is basically what POTS means, is that your blood flow isn't flowing correctly. So if your feet or hands are getting very cold, or if you're noticing them changing colors, then that means that either there's not enough blood or blood is pooling in those areas. So for me, I'm someone that's always been cold. I always have cold hands and cold feet. That's why I always wear fuzzy socks. So you'll always catch me in fuzzy socks, especially in the winter. But if you find yourself always being cold, that could be another symptom of POTS. Alright everyone, well that is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Comment below any video requests, and don't forget to stop what you're doing and subscribe to join the Famurray. I will see you all in my next video. Love you. Bye. Mwah.